Minecraft is a massive game. I might even say the biggest game. But if there's one thing I know all Minecraft players hate, it's Minecraft. Yeah, no matter how many new updates we have, it seems like Minecraft players are constantly complaining. Either that the updates don't come out frequently enough, and when they come out frequently enough, they complain they're not big enough. The progression is too boring. Oh, they added a bunch of new stuff to progression, well now it's too overpowered. This block does nothing. This block does something, but I don't like what it does. This item is pointless. This item is not pointless, but I don't like how it looks. The textures are not good enough. The game is not balanced. Blah blah blah, on and on and on. It seems like no matter what update comes out, there is a large chunk of the Minecraft community that does not like it, no matter what it actually is. And while I definitely have a lot of qualms with Mojang, mostly with their annoying censorship and their reluctance to take any major risks with the game, I like Minecraft, and Mojang by extension. And often I find that these people that complain about modern Minecraft not being as good as the beta versions don't actually play the beta versions. Like, how many of these pretentious video essayists have actually played beta Minecraft? I know I certainly haven't, because I was like 2 years old when it came out. So I had a brilliant idea. What if I tried this old Minecraft? This version that I kept hearing about by old heads that was so great that I never got to experience. The first version I ever played was 1.12, and even then, I only really started playing survival once 1.14 came out. So I think it's pretty fair to say that I'm sort of a new age player, even though that was like 7 years ago, Jesus Christ. The first thing I had to do was find a version to play. I had to snoop around the r/golden age Minecraft subreddit a bit because I didn't know anything about these versions. I mean, I knew beta 1.8 was like the big no-no point that they all didn't cross, but some of them liked alpha versions, some of them liked beta 1.7, some of them liked beta 1.2. I ended up landing on beta 1.5. I figured out that that version was new enough that I can figure most of the stuff out, but not so old that it felt completely alien. So I booted up beta 1.5, created my world, and the first thing I noticed was how simple everything was. Like, the title screen was the first thing I noticed. It was very simplistic. Once I logged in, I instinctively went to change my FOV to 90, which is what I do when I create any new instance, only to find out that there was no way to change my FOV. I was stuck with this. Also, the controls in the menus were awful. You couldn't shift click anything into the crafting grid, and you also couldn't drag anything. I was so used to dragging that it felt like you just broke my leg mid-sprint. It was so jarring. But I still understood the basics. I chopped down a tree, I made a crafting table, I mined some stone and some coal, and I quickly went to the beach and found a nice place to build my house, as I knew that if I didn't, I probably wouldn't survive the first night. And as I finished my house and placed down all my stuff, night was just setting in, and oh god, it was terrifying. The next thing I noticed is how dark everything was. Like, modern Minecraft definitely has dark places, more specifically with like these massive caves. But oh god, everything in this world is dark and scary. Night is pitch black. You can't see anything. And because I didn't have wool at the time, I was just sitting in my room and waiting for it to pass. There were also a lot of really weird visual and mouse glitches, like my mouse would teleport randomly and torches had this weird outline next to them, but because this was a beta version of the game, I guess I can't really complain as these things were fixed later and this game was unfinished at the time. But after night finished, I figured I would go mining. So I did. I didn't have much goals before this, but at this point I realized that the end doesn't exist in this version. So I decided to give myself the goal of having full iron armor and finding at least 1 diamond. I heard that finding diamonds in this version was really hard, as I've heard a bunch of old heads complain that back in my day we had to mine a bunch to find diamonds. Now you can find them really quickly. So I dug down to Y11, which honestly felt pretty nostalgic. It has been a while since I dug to that level. And I started digging, in a straight line. And again, I noticed the insane darkness. Like, even if I placed a torch right next to me, it still felt too dark. Even when there was boiling lava next to me, it felt too dark. Everything felt too dark. Modern Minecraft is very bright, I would say, both in the color scheme used on the blocks and in the new lighting system. And while I definitely like the new aesthetic more, I do think there is a sort of charm to this. It feels much more amateur. And that's the best way I can explain this whole version. It all felt much more amateur. The mob's AI was much easier. I could pretty much beat like 3 skeletons at the same time with no sweat. I also really liked that I didn't have to eat food instantly. I know that the hunger bar was a big point of complaint back in the day, with people saying that it was bad. And well, in hindsight, I do think the hunger bar was the right decision to make. I also see where those people are coming from, because it is nice to not have to worry about food all the time, just being able to walk around all the time. But quickly enough, I found some iron, I dug it, I went back up, and I smelted it. So after getting some wheat and building a farm, I went right back into the mines, and I found diamonds almost immediately. I just dug into a cave, and there were 2 big patches of diamonds there, and I just built myself a diamond sword and a diamond pickaxe, and I also had enough iron to make full iron armor. And then I was like, well, what do I do now? And this brings me to my last point. This game is so goddamn boring, oh my god. There's no real challenge in this version. Like, I didn't die a single time, and I didn't even get below half health. Sure, I didn't go outside at night, but why would I even go outside at night? There's really nothing to find there. Also, zombies drop feathers. I didn't know where to say that, but I just thought it was neat. The game felt so nothing. Everything felt so barren. It felt like there was nothing here. And there really wasn't. In this version, there weren't any structures outside of dungeons, meaning that everything in the world was just the terrain. And while I do understand why people like this, it also made the game super boring. Like, there is really nothing to do without your creativity. And I didn't have a thing to build. Like, I would understand if this game had a ton of building blocks to choose from and you can just build whatever, like in modern version, but you really just have planks and stone, and that's it basically. There's not even like different types of wood. There's really just a few, and you can just build houses and castles, I guess. If I had more block types to use, I may have built something unique, but I didn't even feel a reason or a want to build because there was nothing to build with. Most of the times when I build something in Minecraft, it's because I see a block and I'm like, ooh, that'll be cool to build around. But I mean, this has nothing. Stone, oak, I've seen these blocks a million times playing Minecraft. I don't have really a reason to build with them. That's one of the main reasons I love modern Minecraft. Is it the creative freedom it gives you actually feels like it matters. I remember this old Sipover video that everyone clowned on him for, where it said the old versions give complete creative control. And the main thing I thought is, do the modern versions not give full creative control? Because I feel like they do. And after playing this version of the game, I feel like they do way more than this version, because in the modern versions there's a ton of different blocks to build with, but here you just have stone and wood. I wouldn't have a problem with this game being barren and pretty empty, because I do love the vibe here. I thought the vibe was impeccable, and it was one of the main things I loved. The aesthetic feels really unique, and it doesn't really feel like modern Minecraft, which is all sort of cartoony almost. This feels almost eerie and scary to some degree, a feeling that modern Minecraft is kind of lost. And I would have probably had a real desire to bring back life to this world, but I didn't really feel a need to bring life to this world if I didn't have anything cool to bring life with, just stone and wood. But my overall thoughts. Is it better than modern version of the game? No, it's not. But at the same time, I feel like I've gained a new appreciation for this old version of Minecraft. I've always looked at old version and thought they look super boring and uninteresting, and while to a certain degree they are, I understand the certain charm these had at the time, and I feel like Minecraft has sort of lost it. But at the same time, even if that charm is really cool, it feels boring. The game doesn't have much to do, and I understand it's built to promote creativity instead of giving you a bunch of goals, and I do respect that, but at the same time, there's not really any cool blocks to be creative with. So while I do think most of those old people are probably just speaking from nostalgia, they do have some point in the sense that this version had a charm that modern versions have lost. And while they may be wrong, they can still have a seed of truth in their wrongness. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and subscribe and watch some of my other videos. Bye!